We just got two big pieces of economic data that have a direct impact not just on the economy, but also the stock market. So if you are an investor, you want to pay attention to this. Number one is the job market data, because we just got the latest job market numbers, which said that our economy in 2025 added the lowest number of jobs that we have seen since 2003, more than 2 decades ago. And then, right after that, President Trump announced that he is demanding Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to now start buying mortgage bonds. But not just that, that he wants them to buy $200 billion worth of mortgage bonds as a way to drive mortgage rates lower so more people can then go out and buy a house as a way to stimulate the economy. And these two things, the job report and this change in the housing market, are going to have an impact on what the Federal Reserve Bank does next, which is why you want to pay attention to this, and I'm going to break it all down. And this is why I keep saying that 2026 is going to be an interesting year. We have a lot of changes happening in the economy, from Venezuela to changes now in the housing market, changes to the Federal Reserve Bank, to changes with technology and artificial intelligence. And all of these things create new and unique investment opportunities for the financially savvy, which is why on January 13th, 2026, right around the corner, I'm hosting a live, free, and virtual investment workshop where I'm going to be breaking down the research of how the economy is changing and where the investment opportunities are. So if you're an investor, I invite you to join me for free, but you do have to register. The link is free down in the description below. My request, if you are interested in joining, please register soon, because we have a limited number of people that can actually join me live. So let's start by talking about the job market report, because what it said is that in December, we added 50,000 jobs. And then if we take a look at the entire 2025, we added the lowest number of jobs in the United States since 2003, more than 20 years ago. While at the same time, the unemployment rate went down from 4.5% to 4.4%. And this has a lot of people scratching their heads. How does this make any sense? And this is where you have to understand how some of this data can be massaged. We did not add a lot of jobs. I think anybody who is working in the United States understands the job market was tough in 2025. Number one, because employers were not hiring as much. And number two, because we saw a lot of layoffs. We had a very high amount of corporate layoffs in 2025. And a big reason for that is because of AI. Corporations are saying, instead of us going out and hiring more people, how about we try to employ AI agents as a way to reduce costs? And maybe instead of us having 10,000 employees, how about we just keep 3,000 employees and have 7,000 AI agents, or 70,000 AI agents, because these AI agents are a lot cheaper and they don't need days off. And so artificial intelligence has been changing the job market, as a lot of companies are trying to find ways to make their work more efficient, while at the same time, the unemployment number might not be reflecting that. And part of the reason for that is because the unemployment number is a very limited way of actually looking at how long somebody is without a job. And also, it does not factor in people that are underemployed, because we also know that a lot of people in the United States, in fact, a growing number of people, are underemployed. And what that means is you went to college, you got a good degree, and now you're working at Chipotle and you're waiting to get a better job. And there's a lot of people, not just 1 year out of college, but now 10 years out of college, that we're seeing this growing number of people that are underemployed, which is why we're facing such a tough job market. Now, the reason why this matters for investors is because the Federal Reserve Bank, who is the central bank of the United States, they look at the job market to help decide what they're going to do with money printing and interest rates. And this money printing and interest rates help fuel the stock market and the economy. When you have more money entering our economy through lower interest rates or through money printing, that generally benefits the stock market. And so this is where the Federal Reserve Bank, what they do is they take a look at the job market and they say, when the job market is strong, we don't need to stimulate. When the job market is weak, we need to stimulate. So when we get the data, the unemployment rates fall, that gives the Federal Reserve Bank less ammunition to continue cutting interest rates, to continue stimulating the economy. And this is where we just got some new data, which shows that now it seems less likely that the Federal Reserve Bank is going to cut interest rates in January. Why does that matter? Because if you listen to what the president says, President Trump wants significantly lower interest rates. He's been demanding this ever since he entered the White House, even before he entered the White House. And the Federal Reserve Bank is supposed to be independent. although they're called the Federal Reserve Bank, they're actually not federal. It says so on their website. So they get to make their own decisions, and President Trump cannot fire the head of the Federal Reserve Bank. Well, the chairman's term is going to expire this May. I just made a video about this. And President Trump has made it very clear that he wants to replace Jerome Powell, who is the current chairman at the Federal Reserve Bank, with somebody who is going to agree with what President Trump says. And what President Trump wants is aggressively lower interest rates. Well, those lower interest rates can make getting a mortgage a little bit cheaper, but that also fuels more money entering the economy, which can be good for investors, but that can also make the inflation problem worse. Now, what we're seeing happen, the second part of this video, is that President Trump is not waiting for the Federal Reserve Bank to cut interest rates to try to drive down mortgage rates, because we just got a new report where President Trump announced that he wants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to purchase $200 billion worth of mortgage bonds to make mortgage rates even cheaper. And let me explain what this means. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are two entities, they're government sponsored, that they're in the business of purchasing loans. And the way that works is if you want to go and get a mortgage from your bank, you borrow $500,000. The bank doesn't want to sit there and wait 30 years to get paid that $500,000 plus interest, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to issue that many loans, and they're going to be a lot stricter on who they issue loans to, because if you don't pay your mortgage back, the bank doesn't get paid. So the bank wants to make sure that, number one, you're going to pay, but then they're also not going to have money to keep issuing loans to you, me, and everybody else. And this is where we have entities like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that come into play. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are in the business of buying these loans. So when you go to your bank and you get this mortgage, the bank is then going to immediately sell this mortgage to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. What does that do? Number one, it allows your bank to free up money. That way they can then give a loan to somebody else, because as soon as they sell this loan, the bank now has the $500,000 to issue a new loan, That way they don't have to wait for 30 years to get paid. Number two, it allows banks to make a little bit more risky loans, because now the problem is not in the bank's hands. The problem is in Fannie Mae's and Freddie Mac's hands, because now if you don't pay, well, it doesn't matter to your bank because they already got the money. As soon as you sign the paperwork, your bank gets paid, and now it's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's problem. Now, there are new requirements as to what the bank can qualify a mortgage for and cannot qualify a mortgage for. That way you don't have a bunch of people that are broke, that don't have any money to qualify for these mortgages. But you can start to see how when it's not the bank's problem, they are willing to make more loans because the bank gets paid once the paperwork is signed, so they want to make more loans. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have their own quota on how many loans that they can purchase, and then they keep about $200 billion, or this is what they have right now, $200 billion in reserves. For what? For a downturn. Because in case we see an economic downturn and we have foreclosures happen, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are sitting on $200 billion to help give them a little bit of cushion from these bad foreclosures, bad mortgages. And that's there as protection, because we remember when the 2008 crash happened, a lot of people foreclosed, and it created a big problem that then had to be bailed out by taxpayers, which created a lot of problems. So now Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are sitting on these $200 billion worth of reserves. That way, in case we were to see an economic downturn and these foreclosures were to happen and people don't pay back their mortgages, they have a little bit of cushion. And this is where President Trump says, you know what? The bigger problem right now is stimulating the housing market, getting more people to buy houses. And so what President Trump is now demanding is that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac take that $200 billion and they use it to go out and buy more mortgages. Well, if they do that, number one, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac no longer have that $200 billion cushion. Then number two, the second thing that happens is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac now are going to go out and buy more loans from banks. And when there are more buyers of these loans from banks, well, banks are going to want to issue more loans because they know that there's a buyer for them at the end of the day. And then number two, that also can help drive mortgage rates even lower. The goal for this from President Trump is if we get more lower mortgage rates, more people are going to want to buy houses. And as more people are buying houses, that's going to stimulate the economy. Now, how does that work? Because if you buy a house, well, that means your mortgage agent is going to get paid. The title agent's going to get paid. The realtor is going to get paid. A contractor is going to get paid. Home Depot is going to get paid. A moving company is going to get paid. And that's how now the housing market can start stimulating the economy if more people buy houses. But there's also that risk that if housing prices go down in the future, We don't have a big cushion there. So we're trying to stimulate, hoping that things won't go wrong in the future. And if things don't go wrong, it's great. But if/when things go wrong, because we know that economies go up and down, well, that can make the problem even bigger in the future. Now, how much can it actually push interest rates and mortgage rates lower? Well, according to UBS, the bank, what they say is that this move can bring mortgage rates down by somewhere between 0.1% to 0.25%, which means, yeah, you could save maybe $100, $200, $300 a month on your mortgage, depending on how much money you are borrowing. So that is going to also have an impact on the Federal Reserve Bank, because remember, the Federal Reserve Bank has a lot of pressure to lower interest rates from President Trump. And the reason why President Trump wants his lower interest rates is because he wants people to be able to buy houses. Now, he's making a lot of changes in the housing market. We've heard him talk about the 50-year mortgage. We've heard him talk about wanting to ban institutions from being able to purchase houses. And now he wants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to use their reserves to go out and buy more mortgage bonds as a way to drive down mortgage rates. And of course, that has an impact on the Federal Reserve Bank, because the Federal Reserve Bank is now going to be changing in 2026. And President Trump will likely have more influence on what the Federal Reserve Bank does. This is why I keep saying our investing market is going to be changing in 2026, which is why I have my investor workshop on January 13th, which if you haven't registered for yet, again, I have the link for you down in the description. But what you need to understand is, number one, our job market is a lot cooler now than it was before. Companies are not hiring the way that they were. And there's a lot of changes happening in the job market, especially due to AI. So if you haven't started learning how to use AI, I recommend you do so. At the same time, President Trump is trying a lot of things, trying to get the housing market more affordable. And what he's doing now is he's asking Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to use their extra cash reserves, not to protect them, but to use that money to buy more mortgage bonds as a way to make getting a mortgage cheaper, as a way to incentivize banks to go out and issue more loans, to issue more mortgages sooner. These are things that are going to have an impact on the economy, on interest rates, which is why you want to pay attention. And again, if you got value out of this video, the best thank you is a referral. So if you could, please share this video with a friend, family member, colleague, or fellow investor. That way we can continue to spread this type of financial education. Thank you.